We will continue to do everything necessary in order to maintain the security of Israel on land and sea and in the air, and we will continue to act against the threat of precision missiles.
Israel reportedly strikes Iranian-backed forces in 3 Middle Eastern countries. What does it mean for the region and beyond? Hello, I'm Anand Naidu, and this is The Heat. Tension between Israel and Iran is no secret, but what was once a shadow war appears to have broken into the open, with a number of attacks against Iranian allies in the region. Recent airstrikes in Iraq, Lebanon and Syria are reportedly designed to prevent Iran from equipping its Arab allies with precision-guided missiles, drones and other sophisticated weapons. For more, we turn now to CGTN's Stephanie Freid in Tel Aviv. And Stephanie, Israel has not openly acknowledged most of these attacks, but Hezbollah and Israel recently exchanged fire after the group's leader Hassan Nasrallah said Israel broke, quote, the biggest red line for dozens of years by targeting it in Lebanon. So let's take a step back. What do we know about these attacks on Iran's allies?
Well, Anand, let's take a few steps back, actually. The war in Syria started in 2011, and around 2013, Israel started hitting Iranian targets inside of Syria, weapons convoys, weapons depots, operatives. But it wasn't until about 4 years later in 2017 that Israel admitted that that's what it had been doing. Shoot to now, the current situation. Israel then, as you said, they hit, but not openly and not admittedly to all of this, targets inside of Iraq and inside of Lebanon, as well as inside of Syria. Well, Hassan Nasrallah, he's the Hezbollah leader in Lebanon. Hezbollah is Iranian-backed. He said, we are going to retaliate, and he did. The message being, Israel is not going to, at will, hit targets in this region, across the region. Maybe you've been doing it in Syria for years, you won't be doing it any longer. That was the message that he was trying to send. Israel's message that it's trying to send, as you said, Israel's not going to tolerate Iran building up militia, army, weapons across the region in Iraq, Syria, and Lebanon. So this is on pause for right now. This was a flare-up, Anand. Is it over? That's questionable.
Stephanie, Israelis go to the polls in about a week. Some are accusing Prime Minister Netanyahu of stoking tensions to gain more support. What, if any, impact is all this likely to have on the election?
Well, now, Anand, the analysts here were very clear about separating the election from this latest flare-up between Lebanon and Israel, saying that there's a difference here between military strategy and political strategy, and the two were absolutely separate in this case. However, capitalizing on it after the events took place for political gain, well, that would be something certainly that Mr. Netanyahu would be doing, as would other politicians. Does he stand to gain from this move? Not necessarily. And certainly any further flare-up in the week that's left or so before the elections, that could really work against Mr. Netanyahu. So it's very questionable. But again, the analysts here are maintaining that, no, this was a military event that happened, and it was not a political calculation. Anand?
Thanks, Stephanie. That's CGTN's Stephanie Freid reporting from Tel Aviv.